Welcome to another shop update video. I can't believe it's Wednesday already. Spent most of the week working on the Z, but I'll go over that after I go over what got done on this white Juke. So on the white Juke, we got a majority of the wiring done. We have some connectors here. The fuel tech harness is now integrated into the factory harness. I have to pin out the injectors and the crank sensor, and then the wiring is pretty much done. So that took the better part of a day to get everything where I wanted it to. The throttle's all wired up. So this I'm picking away at, but a majority of the focus has been on getting as much of that Z done so that I can get my lift back. But we got a lot done on the Z. The turbo manifold is completely done. So that side's done, the other side's done, and then we have the piece underneath, which I'll show you in a second. Started working on the fuel system. I have these Deutschwerks fuel rails. One of them fit fine. This one's fitting a little funky, so I'm waiting for a call back from them to find out if maybe I got the wrong one sent to me, because the part number's right. We got the oil feed line is all hooked up. I'll show more of that down there. We have our oil drain is pretty much done. So the fitting's welded on there. That's back installed. I just have to cut this and join that. And then the drain is done. I just dropped my pen in the oil, of course. We have our wastegate dump tube tacked up. I have to cut it, obviously shorter, and weld it, and then that's done. So I've made progress on that. We have our downpipe started. So it's a 2.5 inch, which will be enough to pretty much max out this turbocharger. This is not rated for a whole lot. It's a little undersized, but we'll get good response out of it from this engine. So 2.5 down there. We have discussed doing a dump for back pressure relief if the exhaust does become restrictive. I don't think it's gonna be a problem on a stock engine. But you can see the turbo manifold is all done in there. So let me lift the car up and show you the underside. So this is the dump tube. That's my cut line. So we gotta just, cut that, and that'll pretty much make it level with this, so you won't be able to see it. And then if we go under here, we have our clutch line is adapted to the factory line. There was a repair done previously in this car's life, so I pretty much just piggybacked that repair to plumb this up. So that's all set. And then we have our crossover tube, or cross under tube in this case. So we have a V-band there, and we have a V-band up there. It's very tight, very tight, but this engine twists that way when it's being torqued. If it ends up having a clearance issue, I can rotate this down a little bit and extend this more, which we extended the steering shaft. We tested that. That's all set, so that's another thing we got done. But the cross under pipe is fantastic, and you also notice got a starter. For anybody playing at home, it's a M45 starter to relocate 350Z starter to this side. So if anybody needs that information. Yes, this is pretty close to the starter. We are going to either ceramic coat or heat wrap this, and I am going to put some sort of heat shielding on here. So it's really not that big a deal. But you can see how good that fitment is coming down. And then you're not really going to be able to see it, but way I have that runner is at the merge, it actually goes straight to where the wastegate dump is. So if you follow from there straight to there, that runner has priority. So back pressure management on, all three of these cylinders going to this tube isn't going to be that big of a deal. So we're not really worried about that. We got the drive shaft sent out to get made, so we're going to be waiting on that. But we got a lot done on the Z. Recurring theme that it's going to just rain out every Wednesday when I do this. This gray car, the 450 horsepower car, I gutted the interior, detailed it, and then I took it on a 4-hour drive. The car runs and drives great. It's fantastic. We got the back bumper on, so that's all back together, so it looks like a complete car now. Fender flares on. I gotta redo these clips. They're not particularly happy. But this one is almost ready to go. Got a small list of things left to do. Oh yeah, hear that thunder. Got a small list of things left to do to it to button it up, like a different coolant tank, because right now it's just flopping around in there, but that's in the shop. And then the drag car, we have a couple of updates on that, which I'll go over right now. I had a chance to touch the engine, just trying to get stuff done in the shop that actually pays the bills. But we sent the cams out. The cam company is analyzing them right now. We typically have our cams done at Crower, but we want to try a different, smaller shop this time around and see, you know, what they come up with. This place also offers welding the lobes, so we can do a way larger variety of profiles. But we had talked about having crank pressure issues, which is why we added that top bung. So the plan has been to put like a really big catch can or a oil vapor box, because a regular size catch can just is too small for what we're doing. So I didn't want to spend a fortune on aluminum and making this custom setup, because it's just a box at the end of the day. So I found this, which it's like an electronics case, or it's advertised as a mailbox for some reason. There's clearly no holes in it. So this is going to be our catch can. We're going to drill some holes in it, weld some bungs to it, weld it shut so that it's obviously airtight. And that's going to be part of our catch can. We do have a large Mishimoto catch can that we're also going to use in tangent with this, but that will be after this. This will be kind of like the big catch, so that we don't have fluid, you know, filling up our catch can and going out of our vent. But that's the update with the drag car. That's pretty much what's going on around the shop. I will see you all next week.